A significant and alarmingly potent weather threat is developing now across the central United States. In the last 12 hours, the forecast has grown substantially more dire as a dynamic and powerful storm system has intensified, tripling the size of the highest risk area. Millions of people have woken up this morning to find themselves squarely in the path of what is now forecast to be a multi-day severe weather assault. This system is primed to unleash a cascade of violent weather, including the threat of powerful, enduring tornadoes, extremely large and destructive hail, and widespread damaging winds with the force of a major hurricane. This is not a conventional spring weather system. We are observing a confluence of atmospheric ingredients that is highly unusual, creating an exceptionally volatile and explosive environment. What was initially a contained threat has now metastasized into a sprawling, multi-day siege that will carve a path of potential destruction from the plains of Texas and Oklahoma, across the Mississippi Valley, and all the way into the Ohio Valley and Southeast. Let us know in the comments if you are in the path of this system. Your on-the-ground reports provide valuable information that helps everyone understand the developing situation. In this urgent and detailed analysis, we will break down the dangerous science fueling this outbreak, highlighting the extreme levels of atmospheric instability and the violent wind shear that are aligning in a near-perfect sequence. We will provide a comprehensive timeline, detailing which regions are at risk and the specific timing of the most dangerous periods, showing you precisely why the most significant threat may arrive under the cover of darkness. We also look ahead, beyond this immediate system, to a developing pattern in the long-range models that suggests this is only the first act in a relentless period of dangerous weather for the nation. This is a pattern that demands your full and immediate attention. Well, don't skip this video. This is where we show you the alarming data and explain the physics behind why this particular storm system has become so incredibly dangerous overnight. Understanding the why is critical to appreciating the severity of the threat you and your family may be facing over the coming 72 hours. To understand what is unfolding, you must first understand the concept of a triple-point collision of air masses. This is not a term we use lightly. In this specific case, three distinct and powerful atmospheric rivers are on a direct collision course over the central backbone of the country. First, from the north, an unseasonably cold and dense mass of polar air is plunging southward out of Canada. This is the freezer door being left wide open, sending a surge of cold that provides the fundamental lift in the atmosphere, the mechanism that forces warmer air to rise violently. Second, from the Gulf of Mexico, an incredibly rich and deep flow of tropical moisture is being drawn northward. Think of this not as just moist air, but as pure atmospheric fuel. The dew points, a measure of moisture content, are projected to reach into the low 70s, values more typical of midsummer than spring. This is the high-octane gasoline for the impending atmospheric explosion. Finally, from the desert southwest, a river of intensely dry air, known as a dry line, is pushing eastward. This dry line acts as a trigger, a meteorological scalpel that slices into the moist air, forcing it upward with explosive force. When these three distinct air masses, cold polar, moist tropical, and hot dry, collide in a specific configuration, they create a zone of extreme atmospheric violence. This triple point is the ignition source for this entire outbreak, a battleground where the most powerful storms on Earth are born. But the ingredients alone are not the full story. The intensity of those ingredients is what has elevated this situation to such an alarming level. We are now looking at models predicting CAPE values, or convective available potential energy, exceeding 5,000 to 6,000 joules per kilogram. To put that into perspective for you folks, a value of 2,000 is sufficient for strong storms. Values over 4,000 are considered extreme. What we are seeing is the atmospheric equivalent of rocket fuel being poured into an already volatile engine. This energy, once released, will drive thunderstorm updrafts to speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, allowing them to punch through the upper levels of the atmosphere and become organized, self-sustaining supercells. These are not your average thunderstorms. These are meteorological monsters capable of producing the entire spectrum of severe weather threats simultaneously. This brings us to the next critical component. Wind shear. The wind structure in the atmosphere is, frankly, terrifying. We are observing intense directional shear, meaning the winds are changing direction sharply with height. At the surface, winds are blowing from the southeast, bringing in that Gulf moisture. Just a few thousand feet up, the winds are screaming out of the southwest at over 60 miles per hour. This change in wind direction with height imparts a violent horizontal rotation to the air. The powerful updrafts we just discussed then grab this rotating column of air and tilt it into the vertical. This is how a rotating supercell, a mesocyclone, is formed. And it is from these powerful, rotating mesocyclones that the strongest and longest-lasting tornadoes are born. The projected wind shear is so significant that it supports the potential for what we call long-track tornadoes. Tornadoes that can stay on the ground not for minutes, but for dozens of miles, posing a catastrophic threat to any community in their path. Furthermore, we are dealing with a dangerous capping inversion. Think of this as a lid on a boiling pot of water. A layer of warm air a few thousand feet up is currently suppressing or capping the explosive energy building at the surface. All day, the sun will heat the ground, building more and more pressure under that lid. This is a deceptive situation for those on the ground. The sky might even appear clear or only partly cloudy for much of the day, leading to a false sense of security. But this cap is a double-edged sword. While it prevents small, weak storms from forming early, it allows for a tremendous, almost unimaginable amount of instability to build up underneath it. Later today, as the upper-level dynamics strengthen or surface heating becomes too intense, that cap will break. And it will not break gently. It will shatter. The result will be an explosive, almost instantaneous eruption of violent supercells across a wide area. Instead of a gradual increase in storm activity, we will see a rapid transition from relative calm to life-threatening danger. Let us be perfectly clear. The combination of a triple-point collision, extreme instability, violent wind shear, and a breakable cap is a recipe for a historic severe weather outbreak. This is the kind of setup that meteorologists study and dread. It is a configuration that has produced some of the most significant tornado events in American history. Our purpose in detailing this science is not to frighten, but to impress upon you the absolute seriousness of the situation that is now unfolding. We ask that you please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us continue to provide these critical updates. Now, we will move to the specific timeline and the impact zones. This is the practical information you need to prepare. For day 1, the focus of the initial, most violent activity will be centered on the southern plains. This includes a large portion of Oklahoma, northern and central Texas, and southern Kansas. The highest threat area, designated by the Storm Prediction Center with an enhanced and even a potential high risk, will see the cap break late this afternoon, likely between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. local time. This is when the first supercells will erupt. These initial storms will be isolated, what we call discrete supercells, and they will be the most dangerous. They will not be competing with other storms for energy, allowing them to tap into the full reservoir of extreme instability. The primary threats with these initial cells will be twofold. First, the threat of destructive giant hail. With updrafts of over 100 miles per hour, these storms can support the growth of exceptionally large hailstones. We are not talking about pea or marble-sized hail. We are forecasting the potential for hail the size of baseballs, softballs, or even larger. This is hail that can shatter windows, cause significant structural damage to roofs, and total vehicles in minutes. It is a severe danger to life for anyone caught outdoors or in a car. Second is the significant tornado threat. As these discrete supercells mature in the violently sheared environment, they will have a high probability of producing strong tornadoes. The atmospheric parameters are supportive of tornadoes rated EF2 or higher, with the potential for even more violent, long-track tornadoes. As we move into the evening and overnight hours, the threat morphs but does not diminish. This introduces the added vulnerability of darkness. A powerful low-level jet, a river of fast-moving air at about 5,000 feet, will intensify after sunset. This will maintain the tornado threat long after dark, creating a particularly dangerous situation for communities in eastern Oklahoma and into western Arkansas. Nocturnal tornadoes are statistically more deadly because they are difficult to see, and because many people are asleep, unaware of the impending danger. This is why having a weather radio that can physically wake you up is not just a recommendation, it is an absolute necessity in a situation like this. You cannot rely on seeing the threat approach. You must have a way to be woken and alerted. As we transition into day 2, the system undergoes a significant evolution. The energy and the focus of the severe weather will shift eastward, targeting the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys. This includes states like Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, and western Kentucky. By this point, the individual supercells from day 1 will likely merge and congeal into a massive, sprawling line of thunderstorms known as a quasi-linear convective system, or a QLCS. This is a different kind of threat, but it is no less dangerous. The primary hazard from a QLCS is the production of widespread, devastating straight-line winds. We are forecasting the potential for a derecho-like event, a corridor of wind damage that could stretch for hundreds of miles. These are not just strong gusts. These are sustained winds of 70 to 90 miles per hour, with the potential for localized bursts exceeding 100 miles per hour. That is the equivalent of a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane's winds, capable of downing countless trees, snapping power poles, and causing significant structural damage over a very wide area. Embedded within this line of violent storms will be another threat: brief but intense tornadoes. These QLCS tornadoes, sometimes called spin-up tornadoes, are often fast-moving and difficult to detect on radar, giving very little warning time. They can cause considerable damage and are a significant life safety risk. Furthermore, the slow forward movement of this entire system across the moisture-rich environment of the Mississippi Valley will introduce a severe flash flood threat. Storms will be training over the same areas, repeatedly dumping torrential rainfall. We could see rainfall totals of 4 to 6 inches in just a few hours, leading to rapid and life-threatening flooding of creeks, streams, and urban areas. Remember, more people die in floods each year than from tornadoes or lightning. Never drive through a flooded roadway. These situations always hit close to home, folks. When we see a storm track like this, we think of the countless families in its path. We think about the vulnerability and the need for clear, rapid information. It makes us think of our own families, scattered across the country. When we see a forecast for the East Coast, my mind immediately goes to my brother, who had a show in New Jersey just last week. And I think about the millions of people in that dense corridor. When there is a surge of deep Gulf moisture, I immediately call my sister who lives in Florida, reminding her to check her hurricane kit even if it is not hurricane season, just to ensure she is prepared for any severe weather. I have family in California who have never experienced a tornado and cannot truly comprehend the speed and violence of these storms. My mother worries about relatives in every corner of the country. This isn't just about lines on a weather map for us, and we know it isn't for you. It's about protecting our communities and the people we love, no matter where they are. That is the mission that drives us. Now for day 3, the storm system will continue its relentless march eastward. By this point, it will begin to encounter the Appalachian Mountains, a geographical feature that will interact with the storm's dynamics. The threat will stretch from the Ohio Valley, through states like Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, and down into the southeast, including Georgia and the Carolinas. While the overall instability may begin to wane slightly, the wind energy will remain potent. The primary threats on day 3 will be widespread damaging winds and the potential for a few tornadoes. The complex terrain of the Appalachians can introduce localized effects, enhancing winds in some valleys and creating new, small-scale rotations. This makes the threat more unpredictable. Residents in this region need to be aware that even a weakening system is still incredibly dangerous and capable of producing significant impacts. Beyond the headline threats of tornadoes, hail, and wind, there are compounding dangers that will follow in the wake of this system. We need to discuss the risk of widespread and prolonged power outages. A storm of this magnitude, impacting such a vast and populated area, has the potential to knock out power for hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million, customers. These outages may not be brief. With the extent of potential damage to infrastructure, some areas could be without electricity for several days or even longer. This creates a secondary crisis. Without power, there is no air conditioning, no refrigeration, and most critically, no television or internet to receive ongoing updates. It hamstrings recovery efforts and leaves people isolated. This is why we stress the importance of having a plan that includes non-electronic elements: a battery-powered weather radio, fully charged power banks for your mobile devices, and a stock of non-perishable food and water. We are doing our utmost to get this critical information to as many people as possible. But frankly, in today's media landscape, our videos are not getting the reach they once did. The algorithms that control the flow of information can be unpredictable and often do not prioritize life-saving warnings. This is why your personal action is now more critical than ever before. Please, take a moment to subscribe and ensure your notifications are enabled. But more importantly than that, we ask you to please share this video. Send it to your family in Texas, post it for your friends in Missouri, email it to your coworkers in Ohio. A single share from you could place this detailed warning in front of someone who is currently unaware and in the path of danger. It is a small action that could have an immeasurable impact. You can be the link that helps someone get prepared in time. Your share is not just a click, it is an act of community service. Finally, we must look ahead. As this destructive system eventually exits the East Coast, it would be easy to assume the danger has passed. Unfortunately, the long-range models are showing a deeply troubling pattern. Both the American GFS and the European models, which we use to look out over the next 1 to 2 weeks, are showing a disturbing and striking consistency. They are forecasting that a second, potentially even more potent upper-level trough of low pressure will dig into the western United States early next week. This feature is projected to swing out into the Plains states by the following weekend, tapping into a renewed surge of Gulf moisture and positioning itself over the same regions that are being battered by the current storm. While it is too early to forecast the specific details of this potential future event, the pattern is alarmingly similar to the one we are facing now. It suggests that this is not an isolated, one-off event. Rather, we are entering an extended, active, and dangerous period for severe weather. This is an atmospheric siege. It implies a relentless cycle of storms that will provide little time for recovery between rounds. This reinforces the absolute necessity for not just immediate preparedness, but for maintaining a state of readiness for the coming weeks. We cannot afford to let our guard down after this first system passes. The long-range outlook is flashing significant warning signs that we must heed. We will be tracking this future threat with extreme vigilance and will provide updates as the situation becomes clearer. Please stay tuned to our channel for those future forecasts. So, to summarize the immediate, life-threatening situation, we are facing a multi-day, high-impact, severe weather outbreak. Day 1 will feature violent, discrete supercells in the southern plains, with threats of giant hail and strong, long-track tornadoes, especially this afternoon and continuing overnight. Day 2 will see the threat shift into the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys, with a massive line of storms producing widespread hurricane-force winds and embedded tornadoes, along with a significant flash flood risk. Day 3 will carry the threat of damaging winds to the Ohio Valley and the East Coast. This is a storm system that has tripled its threat area overnight, placing millions of unsuspecting folks in a dangerous position. The science behind it is clear, the ingredients are in place, and the potential for a destructive event is high. This is a time for preparation, not panic. Check your emergency kits. Review your family's safety plan. Know where you will shelter if a warning is issued for your location. You need to have multiple ways to receive warnings, from your phone to a weather radio. You need a plan to shelter in place instantly. Your preparedness is paramount to your safety. Please share this critical information with your family, your friends, and your neighbors. Ensure that those you care about are aware of what is unfolding.